Rim Country Forum today being brought to you by Holiday Cruises and Tours, Choice Auto and Truck, Anytime Fitness, Dan Good Flooring, Hospitality Wireless, Sunshine Cleaning and Restoration, and the Dana Law Group. Well, good finally Friday morning, 5 minutes past 9 o'clock, 80 degrees. Coming up in our second half hour today on Rim Country Forum, we're going to be talking with Kenny Evans, Jennifer Smith, and Mike Reichling about the MHA COVID testing taking place in Payson. Today's the last day for that. We're going to get a bunch more details from them about a pretty amazing outpouring of volunteerism and all kinds of good things that have been going on there. So that'll be coming up in the second half hour. But right now in our first half hour, yep, you guessed it, it is Friday, and it's time for your hometown movie guys. Andy can't be with us this morning because he's got a boo-boo, and but hey, Tina and Craig are both with us here in the studio to tell us all about what's going on at the Sawmill Theaters and ever so much more. How y'all doing this morning?
I'm great. Hi, Andy. You are a boo-boo. We miss you.
Don't be a boo-boo. Anyway, even though the Ranger said not to, Yogi. Poor Andy, he does have a boo-boo. He hurt his knee, right?
Apparently.
Apparently.
He says he's going to go to the movies, though, and so we need to hold him to that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got to get out there and check out the movies. And that's the good news, too, is the Sawmill Theaters are open once again and have all kinds of good things for you to get out there and see. And it's been a week now that you've been open, is that right?
Yeah.
And so kind of a slow getting back to whatever normal is supposed to be?
Yeah, definitely a slow week. We kind of expected that, though.
Right, makes sense.
But yeah, things are coming along.
So you're doing the social distancing thing there. What is it, every other row is roped off or something
Well,
like
we
that?
got every other row blocked off, and then we're limiting seating beyond that also. So
Right.
we're at about 35% capacity right now.
So it's actually a real safe time to go out and get back into the movies.
It's pretty wide open there, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely.
Gotta love that. And you got some new movies in today too.
4 new movies, yes.
Woohoo! What do you got planned?
Yeah.
I was looking for my movie sheet, and it seems to have left me somewhere.
You're making me remember this stuff.
Oh no! I'll see if I can dig it up while you buy me
Well, no,
some.
we've got we're keeping Emma and I Still Believe.
Right?
Those are the 2 holdovers, but then we're bringing in Sing and Trolls World Tour. A couple of kids movies there.
Nice.
Trolls World Tour is, of course, the one that just came out on April 10th, so it's pretty much a new movie. And then we've got actually Jurassic Park is really good for us for the week. So this week we're bringing in Jurassic Park: The Lost World, the second Jurassic Park. We're bringing in that sequel.
That's cool. And Jurassic Park just isn't nearly as cool if you don't see it on the big screen.
Well, yeah, it is. It's a big screen movie for sure.
I mean, those are big
Yes,
critters.
and filmed on my cousin's ranch. You got to see my cousin's ranch on the big screen.
Wow.
Yeah, Kualoa Ranch. Unbelievable.
So where did they
business.
put all the dinosaurs after they got done filming?
Hey, you know what? When you go to their ranch, which is now a tourist attraction,
I bet.
although in the gulag of Hawaii, I'm not sure who's going to where.
Gulag of Hawaii.
Oh, it is. I mean, they're locked down tighter than a drum. I think they still have 14-day quarantine if you go there, so you can't
Wow.
go to the beach. And, where
Of course,
sunlight
they have that in New
and
Mexico,
fresh air
too,
would. I know. I was in New Mexico. But the Kualoa Ranch is extraordinary, and they have a movie tour where you can take a tour of all the movies that have been filmed there, particularly the Jurassics. And Craig's right. You have to see it on the big screen. It's just an unbelievable vista and story.
A research team is sent to the Jurassic Park site, Bee Island, to study the dinosaurs there, while an InGen team approaches with another agenda. Dun dun dun. So it sounds like a fun one to watch. It's rated PG-13, so good for just about everybody there. It plays at 1:30, 4:30, and 7:30, and I don't know, if you got a 2-year-old or something, that might kind of freak them out a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean...
But there are so many people who are not 2 years old in Payson.
Right.
They perhaps,
There's
like me,
bit of an
have a
understatement.
2-year-old personality.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Yeah,
Well,
but
maybe 3, okay.
it looks like it'd be a lot of fun. Now, the way back, this movie, Jack Cunningham was a high school basketball phenom who walked away from the game, forfeiting his future. Now, years later, when he reluctantly accepts a coaching job at his alma mater, he may get one last shot at redemption. Now, this movie is rated R, so this is an adult flick here. It plays at 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15. And how is this, do we know how this is actually done in the theater so far?
Well, this one came out back in March.
Right.
Yeah, no,
And that's one of the problems, it comes out in March, and then all of a sudden we do all the
everything kind
shutdown
of got
stuff.
shut down, right, so it kind of got cut short there, but it's a Ben Affleck movie.
Affleck.
with-
Oh,
Affleck.
sorry.
And we're looking there, well, he's got, talking about his issues and stuff, and it's kind of a struggle against alcoholism.
Ah,
You're looking at R for language,
Oh,
is what
okay.
you're gonna be seeing there.
so not a lot of violence.
But Ben
No,
Affleck is
no.
really, really good.
He's a good actor.
a good actor,
Yeah.
yeah.
And also some great actors in Trolls World Tour. When the queen of the hard rock, Trolls, tries to take over all of the troll kingdoms, Queen Poppy and her friends try different ways to save all the trolls. Now, obviously, this is rated PG, so it's a good one for everybody out there. Plays at 1, 4, and 7. When did that first come out?
So April 10th on this one.
Okay, so this is
Yeah.
another one that got banged around by the COVID-19 thing.
Yeah, well, this is one that they actually went ahead and released it, rather than pushing it back. They went with the streaming services on this one.
Right? And who's, what production company's behind this one?
This is Universal.
Oh, it is Universal.
Yeah, Universal.
I'm amazed at what people are doing these days with animation. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it's, you quickly kind of forget that you're watching animation with some of this stuff, and they suck you right into the story. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, it's and a great cast on this one too. The singing and stuff. Kind of a musical kids film, I guess.
Right, sounds good. And speaking of kids' film, another one that's playing there is Sing. In a city of humanoid animals, a theater impresario's attempt to save his theater with a singing competition becomes grander than he anticipates. Also rated PG, plays at 1, 4, and 7. Now, this has been out for a while, right?
This one came out originally in 2016.
Right. And was it pretty successful?
Oh yeah. Oh,
We don't have
definitely.
Andy here
No,
to
this
talk
is-
numbers with this morning.
Yeah, no, this was a good one. Did really good back then, and again, we're kind of facing a shortage of some film right now. As the studios pulled everything, so we are playing kind of some of this older stuff. I also want to say that is part of why we're doing $5 right now.
That's what my next point was. Hey, you can get and watch any of these movies for just $5.
$5.
And
That's
that's
all
not,
day.
and it's not just a matinee thing, that's all day.
No, yeah, night too.
All right, and again, all of these are playing 3 times a day, including into the evening. Emma, that story about Jane Austen's beloved comedy about finding your equal and earning your happy ending is reimagined. That's rated PG, plays at 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15. And this is also one from a little while back, right?
Again, another one from back in March.
Back in March?
And if I might put in a good word for it, I saw it last week. It's really wonderful.
What do you like most about it?
I like the dialogue because Jane Austen, she's kind of like a latter-day Shakespeare. She understands the human heart. She understands relationships, and the repartee between the main character and the other people takes place in the 1800s, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's charming, and beautiful. It's visually a beautiful film, but the script is excellent. And sadly, Andy and I were the only 2 people in the theater last week, so
Well,
we've got to.
People are slow coming back.
Country, we love you. Go to the movies. Go to the movies.
What a great idea for, date night. It sounds
it's
like a
very
good movie.
romantic.
Yeah, and that's,
Yeah.
if you want that special someone to be a little more special, maybe take them to a romantic movie.
Yeah, you do want to say that. I mean, it is kind of been a slow week and a slow time, and I understand that. But so it is kind of, if you're wanting to go out and not be worried about crowds, you're not going to be facing any kind of crowds.
Very good.
And tell people too, if you do come in and you feel uncomfortable and you need to leave, we'll happily give you your money back. Right now it's just not a problem. There's no crowding.
And we need to support the Sawmill Theater
Yes,
more
for sure.
now than ever.
And and I've been saying this the last couple of weeks, when you look at all of the different community outreach things that the Sawmill Theaters have done, this is a good time to give back, in that they've been doing all kinds of fundraisers for this cause and that cause and the other cause.
Yeah, and it's not
and,
painful to give back. You get
yeah.
to see some really cool movies.
And
I
for
mean,
only
give
$5.
back by giving to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, another thing too, speaking of movies that are playing currently at the Sawmill Theaters, I personally think it's always neat. I love watching true stories. And I've got one that I just recently watched for the first time that I'll tell you about. I actually watched a movie recently. But I'll tell you about that in a moment. But one that's playing at the Sawmill Theaters right now that's based on a true story is that movie I Still Believe, and it's rated PG, so good for the whole family. Plays at 1:30, 4:30, and 7:30. It's a true story about a Christian music star, Jeremy Camp's journey of love, and loss.
And
Huh.
I loved it. I
Really?
saw it before, oh my goodness.
Why?
Because it is, number one, it's a true story.
Right.
It's an inspiring story. I can't imagine what it would be like to try to go through what he went through without one's faith. And
Right.
it's extraordinary and
One of the things that
beautiful.
I think is really encouraging about some of these, faith-based movies is that, well, not too many years ago, it seemed like most of the faith-based movies were, had a budget of like, $1.50 or something like that. And they were really kind of weak, but,
Yeah.
and there's really been some amazingly well-produced movies that have been coming out with
Sure.
a Christian-based theme, which I'm really encouraged by that.
Well, and it has the great Gary Sinise in it
Right.
and Shania Twain. And,
Lieutenant Diane?
oh man, it's just beautiful. Shania Twain is gorgeous. She plays the mom, and the
Yeah, Shania
relationships.
Twain, not hard to look at.
Oh, and she's fabulous. And Gary Sinise, God bless him. There's heartache that his parents have suffered, and just a wonderful movie. I mean, if you want inspiration, definitely take a couple of Kleenexes because there's, it's a little bit of a teary.
Sounds like another good date night movie.
It is.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
And how's this been doing overall? Do we know? As far as
Again, it's one of those, it's doing okay here in Payson. But came out in March and everything got shut down.
boy, that had to be
So
for a lot of these production companies, this COVID-19 thing had to be a real
Yeah.
poke in the eye.
Oh, yeah, well, it was we're still facing the fallout here, but
Sure.
yeah, some of these movies that were just getting ready to come out, so many of them got pushed back to next year or later in the year. There's a lot of films out there that are done filming, but they're unable to get all the post-production done, the editing and everything, because everything is still shut down, so
Right.
it's, it was a real blow to the industry. Movies, you're gonna see it in TV too.
Right.
Some of these TV shows have been kind of locked down too.
Right. Interesting. We have to take a quick break and hear from a couple of our sponsors. When we come back, going to talk more with our hometown movie guys, Tina and Craig, with us in the studio this morning. And if you have any questions or comments about what's playing at the theaters or anything else, give us a ring. 474-2427, the number. Back with more right after this.
Are you considering a newer vehicle? The time couldn't be better this spring.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that in.
Quality pre-owned vehicle at Choice Auto Truck.
Was GOP here last Monday?
At choiceauto.com.
Last-
And if you don't
last
see what
Monday?
you're looking for, stop by in person
Gosh,
and
Monday
let's
was
find
so
out.
Gary and Andy?
I don't think so on Monday. I think that was the previous week that
They
they
go
were.
once a month, right?
Yeah, I thought it was the last Monday of the month.
I am not sure.
Okay, well, as long as I didn't miss it.
I don't,
That's the
I
important
don't
thing.
think so.
If it was the previous week, then I didn't miss it.
Shelf flooring makes many different styles and colors to choose from.
Gosh, what was the name of that movie that I've now said I'm going to talk about?
So come visit us at 810 North Beeline Highway and check
Near-
out our new Shaw
Danger
Luxury Bundle
Nearby,
Collection.
Danger-
And remember, we don't just do a good job, we do a
Close to
damn good job.
I love to send my clients on journeys. Hello, this is Alana Wallace, your local travel expert with Holiday Cruises and Tours. For now, we are on a different kind of journey.
Danger
Though
Close.
it feels like we have
What's
been
it called?
grounded. Our minds
Have you seen Danger Close?
Rainforests and ruins.
What is it?
Movie about the Battle of
landmarks
Long
and the
Tan,
legendary places that will
Vietnam.
welcome us again.
Ooh,
Dream
Really,
now.
really,
Ready to
very
move.
interesting movie. I liked it a lot.
At 928-978-1888. Your
Yeah.
friends at Valiant Gas
Movie, what the
Integral
heck?
Propane are on call 24/7 to handle both commercial
All right.
and residential needs. They've been diligently serving the Rim Country for over 47 years.
It's actually, it
Valiant
was
Gas Integral Propane
a
is
movie that was
company
produced
you can
out
trust.
of,
Propane is safe, economical, and environmentally friendly.
Australia.
Alliant Gas
And,
Integral Propane at
I just happened across it and I watched it. I got
2294.
completely
Be safe.
sucked in.
What's it
Call
on?
811
Is it on?
It was on my
before
TV.
you dig.
Oh, but not.
Welcome back to Rim Country Forum, 19 minutes past 9 o'clock, 80 degrees right now at the Radio Ranch. And this morning in our first half hour, I'm talking with your hometown movie guys. And Andy's not with us today, but Tina and Craig with us. And one of the things I mentioned just before the break is I had a chance to, I caught it on, I think it was Amazon Prime the other day.
Oh, okay, I have that.
Yeah, a movie by the name of Danger Close. And it's a true story about the Battle of Long Tan in Vietnam. This goes back to 1966. This movie actually produced out of Australia It's a story about Major Harry Smith and his dispersed company of Australian and New Zealand soldiers who faced overwhelming odds as they fight to hold Viet Cong and North Vietnamese troop at the Long Tan rubber plantation in South Vietnam. So again, I go back to that whole, I love to watch true stories, and I thought this was, and when I first saw it, I was thinking, wow, I'm trying to think of how many really great movies I've seen that were produced in Australia, and I couldn't really come up with one.
There have been quite a few.
Really?
I can't think of them off the top of my head, but Gallipoli with Mel Gibson.
Gallipoli?
And Gallipoli, thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, and he's kind of Australian
Right.
roots.
JC
Yeah.
Superstar.
Yeah, and there are actually, maybe we can do a thing on Australian movies.
I was really surprised with this one. I thought it was really a well-produced movie.
Australia.
Oh, the movie,
goodness,
Australia.
yes.
Who would have thought that was actually
Yeah.
produced in Australia?
Like
right?
Nicole Kidman and,
Nicole Kidman,
Jackman.
Yeah,
Hugh
Hugh
Jackman.
Jackman,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, excellent movie. Oof,
Good stuff.
beautiful.
Well, if you get a chance, check out that movie, Danger Close.
Quickly Down Under.
Oh, there's another one,
In
yeah.
which the star is actually the rifle. Tom Selleck.
That's right.
Oh my
That goes
gosh,
back,
one of my favorites.
80s or 90s, wasn't
Yeah.
it? That goes back.
Yeah. Oh, that's a wonderful movie.
And 21 minutes past 9 o'clock. We do have a caller on the line. Let's take a call. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning.
Aloha, my friend.
Oh, my sister Robin. Hi, baby girl. I was going to call you today, so here you are.
How's life in Hawaii this morning, Robin?
Oh, well, doggone it, wear your mask, walk backwards, and I don't know, keep your hand on your head, I guess.
Things are just a little restricted there, are they?
We got, oh, did you see the post that Laura Ingram called Governor Eggy?
Oh, Aggie? She called him Aggie? Oh, you mean E-gay. Oh,
I guess
good for her.
I guess the yoke's on him. Terrible.
Oh my God,
So you're getting through everything?
About the ranch because Kualoa just opened up.
Oh, they did?
And,
Okay.
We'll have to go there.
Yes, we will. I'm supposed to come in August, so make a plan.
Now, when you take a tour of the ranch over there where Jurassic Park was filmed, I mean, do they have some like big fake dinosaurs sitting there for you to kind of get the feel of, or how do they have that set up?
Well, not having ever been there exactly.
It's pricey. It's pricey.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they do, and it's pretty, awesome with the mountains and whatnot in the background. So it gives you that feeling of wilderness. Although the hilly coastline in Kauai is, hiked that many years ago, and you feel as if, something can fly over you at any moment. The 200, 300-foot waterfall falling down.
Amazing.
That would be really cool to see.
Yeah.
Hey, got to ask you real quick while we got you on the phone here, Robin. With this mandatory 14-day quarantine for anyone flying into the islands there, I imagine that would have to have had a significant impact on the number of beachgoers going on right now.
Actually, you can now go to the beach with social distancing, of course. The sunshine is good for you. It kills the virus, for heaven's sake.
Well, you have that wonderful beach a block from your wonderful home where I have stayed, thank you. And I don't think anybody's out there, right? So we can all sneak out there. Yeah, yeah. And Ben, did HPD show up and arrest everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
But, people are just getting tired of being locked down. They're tired of it. And, businesses are closing. I'm sure everywhere the same thing. What are they going to do? Open school and wrap everything anybody in bubble wrap? I don't
Yeah, looks like it.
Don't challenge them, you never know what they'll try next.
Really?
Well, in the meantime, we gotta go, but,
Love you.
Mela Kaliki Maka to you, and hope, it's always nice to know that, you know, KMOG is even being listened to over there in the islands.
That's right, isn't it?
All right, thanks,
Love
Robin,
you.
appreciate the call. And we'll open up the phone lines again, and wow, you know, how many people in Payson get phone calls on their radio show from Hawaii? That's pretty cool. It's gotta be weird over there right now, though. And in so many places, and as we just briefly mentioned, even over in New Mexico right now, if you are turning off the highway there and going anywhere, that you gotta prove that you either live there or you gotta go through 14-day quarantine before you can move about smoothly.
Well, there's a lot of problems on the res, so.
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, anyway, this morning on Rim Country Forum, we've been talking about the movies. You know, we've been talking about all the different movies that are playing at the theater right now. Just to give you a recap, The Way Back, rated R, Trolls World Tour, rated PG, The Lost World, Jurassic Park, rated PG-13, Sing playing, the movie Sing, animated feature there, rated PG, Emma, a really heartwarming movie that Tina seems to like so well. That's rated PG, and that's playing at 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15. And I Still Believe, also a PG movie playing there that comes with...
Which I also love.
Yeah,
Yes.
high Tina ratings. And, you know, the big thing is you can always find out what's playing and when it's playing by just going online to sawmilltheaters.com. You can also call 928-595-0876 and get some more information that way as well. And, you know, my favorite part about going to the Sawmill Theater is the concession stand.
Popcorn.
Yeah, it's a nice fresh
It's
popcorn
open.
with butter and everything, and you got all that rolling, right? I mean,
Oh,
that's,
of course, yeah.
we're not gonna socially distance you from your popcorn and soft drinks.
Nope.
And all kinds of other goodies there.
Yeah, so please, Rim Country, go to the movies.
Yeah, it's only $5 to see any
It's
movie,
so
anytime.
great.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, get on out there and check it out. Now, you said you have some new movies coming up this next month, though, right? Some new releases?
There is, they're kind of starting to release a few things here in June, so
Right.
that's gonna be slow going, but King of Staten Island is June 12th.
Mm.
And I'm waiting on another one, Greenland. It's actually a Gerard Butler kind of future disaster film.
Really?
They're not sure if they're gonna keep it on June 12th yet, or if they're gonna move it, and so there's a lot of uncertainty still on these things, but yeah, there's some new stuff coming up.
Well, and remember all the great things Sawmill Theater's been doing for our local community, doing different fundraisers and outreach and blood drives and everything else. This is a good time for us all to give back, and you can do it for just $5. Get in there, check out some of the movies, enjoy the concession stand, and help the Sawmill Theaters get back up and rolling in a robust way. And as we mentioned earlier, they do have you know, they've limited the number of people in each theater, and they got the social distancing thing going so that you can feel safe when you go in there. And that's not to say that when you go in there with your hot date tonight on a Friday night date night that you have to be socially distanced from them. It's just you all get to be socially distanced from everybody else, right?
Yes, yeah, we got lots of wide open spaces in there now.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
So get on out there and check it out, the Sawmill Theaters. Again, find out what's playing and when it's playing by going online to sawmilltheaters.com or give them a call, 928-595-0876. Tina and Craig, thanks for being with us. We look forward to having you back in here again next Friday and keeping us updated on everything going on at the Sawmill Theaters. We have to take a quick break, get you caught up on the Rim Country weather forecast and more. Coming up in our second half hour today, going to be talking to former Payson Mayor Kenny Evans, also Jennifer Smith and Mike Reichling about the big MHA COVID testing that's been taking place over in the LDS Church parking lot, this drive-up testing. Today's your last day to take advantage of that free testing that's going on there. We'll find out all the details about that, and also want to find out a little bit about all the different groups that have volunteered to help. It's really been a great community effort. We'll find out about that right after this.